Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Kara Shirley, your digital news desk host, and it is Wednesday, May the 7th. Had some storms roll through last night. Thankfully, our first alert weather team was here to make sure that you stayed notified and aware of all of the warnings and watches that we had coming through. So we're very grateful for them and grateful that it wasn't more severe or wasn't really bad as stuff that came through. We do have some more rain in our forecast over the next few days, so you want to make sure you're here at 2:30 for the first alert weather team to give you an update on the forecast. If you're watching on our website or on our mobile app, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget you can also watch us on your smart TV through any of your smart devices, Roku, Apple, Google Home, Android, Fire Stick, anything like that. You can always download the WLBT News app. You can watch all of our newscasts. You can watch past newscasts. You can watch this show on there, as well as investigative stories that we have done. So much offered there for you on your smart TV. So make sure you go check that out. And also, you can view the documentary by one of our own here at WLBT, our creative services director, Kayla Thomas, did a beautiful documentary, 7 years in the making. There's a beautiful documentary called Farming Freedom, and it is about the history of Black land ownership here in Mississippi. So you may definitely want to go check that out. If you're watching on our social streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, thank you so much for tuning in there. And don't forget, you can always leave a comment, thought, suggestion, question, anything like that in the comment sections on our social streams. And if you're tuning in there now, let me know where you're watching from, if you're right here in Jackson or if you're in any of our surrounding areas. I always appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'd like to give you multiple ways to watch WLBT Plus. Before we jump into the news today, we're going to take a look outside over the downtown Jackson area. It's a little cloudy out there right now. We are expecting or do have some rain chances for the rest of the day, but as we go into the overnight hours, those rain chances are going to drop off. But we do have clouds in the sky. Even still, it is a beautiful day outside. Any day that we're up and breathing, I think, is a beautiful day. So let's go ahead and jump into the news. We do have some breaking news for you that came out just this afternoon. As breaking news out of Ridgeland, where an arrest has been made in the burglary at Two Gun Tactical that happened last week. So, Ridgeland police say that 17-year-old Thomas Schaefer has been arrested there. Let me get this video pulled up for you guys here. So you can see, here we go. So he has been arrested. Again, 17-year-old Thomas Schaefer Jr. Officers also recovered 2 stolen firearms in that arrest. He is being charged as an adult with burglary of a commercial building and 2 counts of possession of a stolen weapon. So Schaefer's bond has been set at $200,000, and he will be held at the Madison County Detention Center. And then a preliminary hearing happened yesterday for Michael McLeod. He is one of the suspects that was arrested for the in the shooting that happened in the aftermath of the St. Patty's Day parade. Well, his bond has been denied. So Michael was a former UMMC officer. And he did confess to shooting and killing Cortez George on March the 22nd, but Michael claims that that shooting was done in self-defense. So witnesses testified that he shot into crowds of people, but a relative says someone else started the whole thing and fired those shots.
But hopefully at some point somebody will listen. And as far as next step, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do next, but I'm gonna do something because there's no way possible you have guys that try to commit murder towards my child, and nothing is being done about it.
So McLeod's younger brother, Marquavius, does face the same charges as Michael, and he is awaiting his preliminary hearing. We, of course, will be following that and bringing you the updates as we get them. Looking here at our social stream, we have Miss Donna Miller watching from Kosciuszko. Hello, Miss Donna. Miss Sandra tuning in from St. Dominic's. Hey, Miss Sandra, hope you're having a good day. Britt over in Kosciuszko, and Miss Evelyn tuning in from Mize, Mississippi. Thank you all so much. And again, if you're just now tuning in, let me know where you're watching from. And don't forget, if you have any questions or anything about any of the stories that I bring to you today, you can always put those in the comment section. If I can't answer it now, I will do my best to get an answer for you, and I will reply to your comment later with the answer if I'm able to get it for you. We're going to go now to Canton, where residents there who are very concerned about violent crime in their city packed out City Hall last night. And this was on the heels of the town hall meeting that happened last week, led by the area's state representative. So the residents are calling for action to stop ongoing violence and action in solving cold case crimes. They say that their concerns have fallen on deaf ears for far too long. So over the past 5 years, Canton has recorded more than 15 homicides. After the Board of Aldermen went into an executive session, the crowd did grow impatient, and State Representative Lawrence Blackman was allowed to meet with the board on his own.
But I told the board under no uncertain terms that if they fail to act in the best interest of this community on tonight, I will file a lawsuit against the city of Canton. I will also be meeting again with Attorney General Lynn Fitch. I will be meeting with Shad White and everybody else who wants to be a leader in this state. And I will be inviting them to look into this scandal that is going on here in Canton, Mississippi. The truth of the matter is that we have become one of the murder capitals of the nation.
So the board has not said what action, if any, was taken during that executive session, or and they didn't say how they responded to Blackman's demands. We, of course, are going to continue to follow that as well and bring you the updates. I see Miss Vivian here tuning in from right here in Jackson, and Miss Joyce watching from Greenville. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to also share this if you're watching on our social streams. If you hear a story, see something that you think somebody else would like to know about, share this with them so that more people can tune in and watch. Now we're going to Pearl now, where some sad news is reported about a house fire that happened. We first reported it to you last night at 10, but this happened in Pearl. Family members confirm that an 86-year-old man did pass away in the fire. So it was reported on Upper Drive, which is off of Pearson Road, just south of I-20. The wife of the man who passed away was taken to the hospital to get checked out. There's no word yet on what started the fire. Also, the victim's name has not yet been released, but we will update you when we get more information. And going to Carthage, where an investigation is underway after a teenager was shot yesterday afternoon. So it happened, according to Breezy News, it happened on Cook Street around 3 o'clock. You can see here on your screen, we have Cotton Boulevard at the top, then there's Cook Street, and then William Street right off of Highway 35 there. So Police Chief Billy McMillan says that someone drove the victim to the hospital, but there's not word on the victim's condition as of now. The chief says they are working to find and arrest the shooter. This is the second shooting in Carthage in just a matter of a few days. An 18-year-old was actually shot and killed there this past Friday. And then now we have another teenager who has been shot. Once we get the update on the condition of the teenager, we will pass that information along to you. And their bond has been denied for a man, well, actually for all three men who were accused of killing an inmate at the Hinds County Detention Center near Raymond. So Decarius Funches was denied bond yesterday. This is him on your screen. He is charged with the murder and the death of Anthony Jones, who was killed on April the 22nd. So bond had already been denied for the other two men that were charged in this case, which is Tyrell Snell and Mason Strait. So Funches has been in jail for the past 3 years, awaiting trial for allegedly killing his mother with a hammer in the summer of 2022. But again, bond has been denied for him in regards to the inmate death that he is allegedly responsible for that happened on April the 22nd. Let's see. We've got James tuning in from Florence. Hey, James, how are you? Miss Catherine, all the way over in San Diego. Hello, Miss Catherine. And Teresa tuning in from Florence. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now we're coming back here to to Jackson, where a Jackson man who has admitted to stealing trailers in Ridgeland and Brandon will now spend the next decade and a half in prison. So here he is on your screen. 30-year-old Jalen Jefferson did plead guilty to grand larceny. Police say in a sophisticated operation, Jefferson he used rented vehicles, switch tags, false alibis, and forged documents to steal trailers and their contents. They say the theft amounts to more than $100,000. The judge sentenced Jefferson to 15 years in prison and also ordered him to pay restitution to the victims. And a grand jury will determine if a man will go on trial in the death of his mother up in Tupelo. So Joshua, let me turn that volume down so it doesn't mess up for you guys. Joshua Lorenzo, which is here on your screen, appeared in court yesterday. A law enforcement found Sherry Lorenzo's body severely beaten in an outside garbage can at her home. The purpose of the hearing yesterday was to determine if there was enough evidence or probable cause to send the case to the grand jury. Police claimed that he did confess to the crime, and investigators also found video evidence. He has been denied bond on that first-degree murder charge, and of course, we will follow that up for you as well. I see you watching, Miss Linda. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're having a great day. Now let's go to Vicksburg, where we told you about the shooting that happened at a Vicksburg restaurant that was celebrating Cinco de Mayo, and the police chief of Vicksburg just happened to be dining at that restaurant when this shooting happened. So it happened on Monday. It happened at Superior Crab there. And Police Chief Penny Jones says that the two women that are involved were charged with aggravated assault. So she was having dinner at the restaurant when the shooting happened in the women's restroom. Investigators are continuing to review some video footage and other evidence, but at this time, no names have been released as far as who the victim is or who the suspects are or anything like that. But of course, once we receive that information, as with everything, we will update you. Have some more stories for you, and we are going to take a quick look at the weather. But first, let's hear from our sponsor over at Jackson Water.
Hey, Jackson, curious about our water system? Join the Jackson Water Academy to get the inside scoop on our water and sewer operations. 3 sessions, 3 months, and a whole lot of hands-on know-how. You'll even get a behind-the-scenes tour of the O.B. Curtis Water Treatment Plant. So if you're ready to dive in, head to jacksonwater.com/Water Academy or give us a ring at 601-500-5200 to apply. But hurry, spots are going fast.
And again, thanks to Jackson Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus. We do appreciate them for allowing or enabling us, helping us to bring you this show every weekday at 1, plus the other content that we have coming for you. So now let's look at our weather, look at our current temperatures sitting outside right now. You can see we're in the mid 70s, actually low 70s in some areas. Macomb showing as even as 68, but that's where our temperatures are sitting at right now. For current radar, no rain in our immediate area around Jackson, but we do have some rain down in Wilkinson, Adams, and Amite counties. But if we look over the next 12 hours, you can see those rain chances start to decrease. And as we go into the overnight hours, we go to a 0% chance of rain, dropping down into the mid 60s. And our next 7 days, we do have chances of rain the next 7 days, but some not as bad as others. So looks like we do have a chance of maybe some storms, some heavier storms on Thursday and Friday. But make sure you're here at 2:30 for our first alert weather team so that they can give you all of the details on our forecast, what you can expect, and give you those details, as I always say, much more eloquently than I can.
Now, Fight the Blight, a year-long investigation from WLBT. 3 on your side.
And again, this is our year-long investigation called Fight the Blight, where we are bringing you weekly stories of blighted communities here in the Jackson area, stories that you guys have submitted to us, that you have come to us for, whether it be abandoned homes or, trash being dumped in places that it shouldn't, so many different things, abandoned businesses or anything like that. We are highlighting these areas, hoping that by shining a light on them, it will bring forth a positive change for the future of Jackson, not only aesthetically, but making it a place that more people want to be, want to live, which brings in so much more than just a pretty place to live. It helps bring in businesses and people and so much more. So we are doing this year-long investigation on this. We talked to a woman here in Jackson who says that her childhood home is falling into disrepair. She's tried to keep it up, but she says that she doesn't have money to do what is needed for the home. This is a map of where the home is. It's on Huron Street, right between Bailey Street and Wood Street here in Jackson. So Mary Russell grew up in this house, and she says that she doesn't want it to become another vacant structure, which contributes to the city's blight. She hired someone to make repairs on it about 4 years ago, but she says that the man she hired died suddenly. Since then, she's tried to keep it up after saving the home from tax forfeiture. And she says vagrants have taken it over and she has run out of money for repairs. So she did consider trying to get a HUD grant through the city's planning and development department. And the limited repair program enables low to moderate income homeowners to make minor repairs for lead-safe environments for children.
I don't know of any resources. If I knew of any, I would have been had it up living in it myself, but because it's a family home and I would love to keep it in the family, but I just don't have the resources to get it going.
So the housing rehabilitation program, again, is funded by HUD, but to qualify for it, the owner must occupy the house for at least a year. And unfortunately for her, the house is not in a state where she could occupy it, so she would not be able to get that grant. For now, the funds have been depleted actually in that grant, and there's a waiting list for any new money offered through the program. Like we said, we've shined a light on a lot of abandoned properties, but this is a property that has the owner there. She doesn't want it to go into a state of disrepair or be a blighted thing, but she does not have the resources to repair the home, and she is looking to try to get help in being able to bring the home back up to standards, looking for any type of resources. So we cover not only just abandoned houses and properties and trash, but also people who are trying to keep the place that they own from becoming that. Now, if you have a story, if you have a blighted area in your neighborhood, in your community that you would like for us to highlight, you can always go to our website, WLBT.com. And here is the website right here. You can see right here at the top of the page where it says Fight the Blight. When you click on that, you scroll down and it gives you a form that you can fill out. Tell us all about the blighted area, the eyesore that you would like for us to report on. When we get those in, we will contact you and see if it's something that we can do a story on. Again, go to WLBT.com to get that information. So we got something. The story comes out of California, but it has to do with a Mississippi man, and it's kind of crazy. So, a Mississippi man is now accused of ramming into a famous actress's multi-million-dollar property. So here he is on your screen. 48-year-old Jimmy Carwile of Mississippi is accused of ramming his car into the gate of Jennifer Aniston's Bel Air mansion in California. So he was arrested of suspicion of felony vandalism, and Jennifer Aniston was actually inside her home when the crash happened. So her private security did detain him outside before the LA police arrived. So the motive of him doing this is unclear, but over the past year, he has made several posts on what appears to be his Facebook page referencing Aniston and calling her his bride. So it's kind of a crazy story out of California involving a Mississippi man and a famous actress. They're ramming into the gates of her mansion. And now we have some fun news coming up to you. We're just about 5 months away from Ferris wheels and funnel cakes making a return to the capital city. So we now know the official date of the return of the Mississippi State Fair. So yesterday, the Fair Committee announced that the fair will take place October the 2nd through the 13th of this year. It's going to be held, of course, at the Mississippi Fairgrounds here in Jackson. Vendors can go ahead and apply on the fair's website to be a part of this year's festivities. And the State Fair Committee says that you can expect many more announcements in the coming months as we get closer to the event. I know there's a lot of people probably very excited about that. So there we go. That is going to be it for WLBT Plus today. We do appreciate all of you for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock to bring you more news and bring you more updates. So make sure you're tuning in there or then. And of course, tune in this afternoon, and this evening, because they'll be here this evening. But at 2:30 today, our First Alert weather team will be here and giving you an update on the forecast. So make sure you are here for that. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Bye-bye.